I'll be spending New Year's Eve in New York, so I'm packing. Flight's in 3 hours. Shout out to TSA Pre. I'm originally from New York, the city of hustle, so I couldn't think of a better topic to cover today than hustle. My family and I arrived in New York the night before New Year's Eve. I got 4 hours of sleep, woke up at 4:30 a.m. so I can get some shots of the city that never sleeps as it takes a little rest. My first tip to hustle more is to use more of what a lot of us take for granted, time. The hours in a day are yours for the taking. Use them to build something great. All right, let's talk about money. I see a lot of aspiring filmmakers on YouTube arguing in the comments over things like, is Canon better than Sony? Yes, you should work to master your craft, but most clients don't know what color grading is. Most clients won't know what the difference between a 1DX and a GH5, a Canon or a Sigma lens, a Ronin S or a Crane 2. But are those things going to help you build a successful brand? Are those things going to make you more money? Pick the best piece of gear that works best for your budget and learn it, and then work on improving your business. There are a lot of videos that help you focus on skills that will help you improve your filmmaking skills. In this video, I want to help you focus on skills that will help you charge what you feel you're worth. So after I'm done filming the quiet streets of New York City, I really wanted to get some nice rooftop shots. So I went to the front desk of my hotel and asked them if they would open up the roof for me so I could do a little filming up there. They called the manager and she said yes. It can be uncomfortable, but don't be afraid to talk to people. I'm probably not the most talented wedding filmmaker in Georgia, but I am currently one of the most expensive wedding videographers in Georgia. And more importantly, I'm fully booked every year. And after my second year filming weddings, I was able to turn it into a 6-figure business. You can raise your prices to wherever you want, but if you don't have the demand so that people will be willing to pay your prices, what's the point? So earning more money is not about talent. Earning more money goes hand in hand with the demand for your services. So how do you increase your demand so you can earn more? The first thing I haven't really seen any filmmakers on YouTube talk about, probably because it's boring. What's going on, guys? On top of New York City, Empire State Building is right there and it's snowing. Business skills and soft skills are going to make you one of the top creatives in your niche. Do you young guys even know what soft skills are? If not, go ahead, Google it. I'll wait. I mentioned this in another video, but after film school, I became a recruiter for 10 years. At first, it was really discouraging to have to go a different route in life. But when I got back into film, I learned that my superpower wasn't color grading, it wasn't editing, it wasn't After Effects. My superpower is networking. When it comes to networking, you want to be a freaking beast. Networking can start on Instagram or Facebook by hitting up someone in the DMs in your industry that you work in, but I'm old school, and I think real authentic business relationships are established by picking up the phone, calling someone and asking them out to coffee, lunch, or dinner. Yes, in person. So let me say this again. Making more money and building a successful business is not about talent. It's not. Let me share how I got most of my clients for 2017 and 2018. I got 60% of my clients via networking. So how do I network? My first year, I took 15 to 20 wedding planners, DJs, photographers, cake makers out to lunch, whoever. I didn't just promote myself though. I wanted to get to know them. I booked way more clients listening than talking. Listening is one of the most valuable soft skills you can have. I also take a lot of my previous clients out to dinner just to catch up. You never know, you may have an old client that is well connected and you just didn't know it. This year, I'm pretty established business-wise, but I'm still taking people out to lunch every other month. As my family and I wander around New York, my wife gave some money to one of the street performers. Now, when you give money to a street performer or a homeless person, you're not doing it to get anything back. You just hopefully want to help make someone's life better. So that brings me to my next point, giving without expectations. Quick story. In 2017, there was a planner that was new to Atlanta. I knew her since 2016. She just couldn't get a break and book her first wedding in Atlanta. So I called every bride I had already booked that year who I thought may not have had a planner. I told them about my planner friend and how she was looking to get started, and boom, she booked her first wedding in Atlanta. I didn't ask her for anything in return. I was just happy to see her win. She was actually friends with other photographers and videographers who have way bigger followings than me, and they never helped her book one event. To be fair, it probably wasn't because they didn't want to help her, but not a lot of people think to go that extra mile for someone else when they may not get anything back in return. After I got her that event, she recommends me to all of her clients. And it doesn't work out every time, but from one good deed, I now have someone who will go that extra mile for me because I went that extra mile for them. So now, giving without expectations is part of your hustle. So we get off the train, come up the escalator, turn the corner, and come across a phone booth. I haven't seen a phone booth in so long. That brings me to calling people. My goal for 2018 was to shoot my first international wedding. So I reached out to every travel photographer I was really cool with and said, hey, if you have a wedding outside of the country, please recommend me. That's how I booked my first wedding in Rome, Italy. If I would have just sat at home and said, I do sure hope someone sees me on Instagram and decides to book me for a wedding outside of the country, I would have still been sitting at home. 2018, I didn't just shoot one international wedding, but I shot 3 international weddings, and I was the director of photography for a documentary in Ghana, West Africa. Now, I'm not saying that people won't see your talent. What I'm saying is that more people will see your talent if you pick up the phone or get out of your house and meet new people. Again, over time, perfect your filmmaking skills, but you should put just as much energy or even more into building your brand. You should put just as much energy or even more time into building your network. You should put just as much energy or even more time into building your soft skills. Still don't know what soft skills are? Okay, Google it. I'll wait. Have you guys been to the Nintendo store near Rockefeller Center? I would highly recommend it. This is the perfect time for me to talk to you about building your brand and network via creative side projects. 3 years ago, I started reaching out to magazines to ask if they had anyone to shoot the behind the scenes videos for their cover shoots. Oh, you don't? I'm your guy. The only thing I asked of them is that my logo had to be at the end of the video and they had to mention my company's name in the description whenever they post the video to social media. Nowadays, that's pretty standard, but I would always clarify. After I did my first behind the scenes video for a magazine, other publications started reaching out to me asking, how much did you charge to do what you did for them? Here's the thing though, remember, as a filmmaker, or even if you're not a filmmaker, you have the power to create. You don't need anyone's permission to create. You can create your own hype. I have another YouTube channel where I started doing video portraits of wedding professionals, just for fun and to work on my documentary skills. It took me a year to finish the 9 episodes for season 1. I made it, I put it out there, and just from people seeing it on YouTube, I booked 4 clients, and those videos don't even have many views yet. So now I'm almost done filming season 2, where I'll just focus on creatives in Atlanta. Season 3, I may just focus on chefs. What I'm doing is enjoying it, but then what I'm also doing is creating future opportunities for me inside and outside the wedding industry. As I travel around New York, I noticed something. There's so much going on and so many different things to do in one place. New York is not just one thing. It's not just Times Square. It's not just the neighborhoods. It's not just attractions. It's not just the people. It's all of that and more. So yes, you're a filmmaker, but you can be so much more. You are so much more. You're a businessman or businesswoman. When you show up to a project or event, be enthusiastic about working. People will notice that. This may sound silly, but when you meet a planner, DJ, photographer, creative director, gaffer, whoever, smile. Being able to do research is also a good critical skill. For example, I know what the low-end wedding videographers in my area are charging, and I know what the high-end wedding filmmakers in my area are charging. I had to do research to find that out. I go after a certain niche in weddings, but I had to do research to make sure that niche would be profitable. How well do you deal with conflict? Do you freeze up? I'll be honest, I've had clients that I've bumped heads with, but I listen to their concerns and then I compromise with them so that we both are happy. I shouldn't have to say this, but a lot of my photographer friends always send me pictures of videographers who come dressed all bummy to weddings. So dress professionally. I know you're young, I know you're an artist, I know you're cool, but the way you look matters. Give your clients their videos when you say you will. If you can't or you're running a little bit behind, it happens. Just follow up with them 2 weeks before the deadline just to let them know you're running behind. Sometimes that's the difference between a 3-star review and a 5-star review. We already talked about this, but networking. Go out and meet people and don't forget to listen to what matters to them. Take notes. Whether you're getting advice or watching a YouTube video to learn a new skill, get a pen and pad and jot down notes so you can read them later. Oh, my bad. You're gonna watch an hour-long TED Talk and remember everything they said. I got you. Reach out to new people in your industry every month or every other month to introduce yourself. Don't sweat it if people don't want to meet you for coffee. Thank them for their time and call the next person. How are your communication skills? I personally have several email templates that I use, so even when I'm traveling, I can get a lead and reply back immediately, and I can be confident that the email will still sound professional. A lot of videographers reach out to me who don't have a lot of confidence in their verbal communication skills. Maybe they have a thick Southern accent or a thick foreign accent, or they're from a rough neighborhood, so they have a real urban voice. What I say to them is when you're talking to clients, slow down your talking and think about what you're gonna say. Your ideal client will love your Southern accent. Your ideal client will love that you got a little hood in you. And if you really wanna work on yourself, take a public speaking class or join Toastmasters. Hold on, I'm a little old. Is Toastmasters still a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You guys know that there's a little toy train museum in Grand Central Station? So as I see all these little trains, I think about the most exciting thing for me is the journey to become a really great filmmaker. But the most important thing though is that I'm happy. I work very hard every week, but at the same time, I'm not constantly chasing something to the point where I'm never satisfied with who I am right now. So right now, I'm working to change the direction of this YouTube channel to reflect more of what interests me in life right now. I'm also working on perfecting my color grading with the GH5 camera system, but I don't have to be the best color grader by tomorrow. I don't have to have the biggest YouTube channel by next week or next year. So hustle and work hard every day, but also take time to enjoy life. There's always a happy medium. I'm about to catch my flight back to Atlanta. My flight should land at 11 p.m. so my family and I can celebrate the new year in Atlanta. The most important thing is to remember, don't wait for things to happen. Make things happen for yourself. The world is yours for the taking. You just gotta hustle. Happy New Year's, guys.